Good afternoon. Excuse me. Still sick as a dog. What do you know? Welcome back to That Fandom Show, and joining me this afternoon to discuss what is spreading like wildfire across the internet and lots of debates going on in terms of what is true and what is not is the one, the only, Mr. Braden Timmons. What's going on, man?
What's going on, guys? How's it going? Sean, hope you're doing well today, man. So I'm currently on Twitter right now. Looks like One Take News actually just released something saying Miramax has officially landed the television and film rights to Halloween. A new television series is currently being planned, developed, and a cinematic universe is being planned, and this is via at Deadline, apparently. That's who they're sourcing, but they could also be full of shit. This is from 2 minutes ago. So guys, as you guys can tell, there's a lot of information being skewed throughout the internet today, whether it's from, reliable sources or it seems like a lot more unreliable sources today is giving us a lot of stuff. So any Halloween news that you see, it needs to come from a big source, okay? That's basically what we're getting at. Sorry, Sean, to kind of cut into the how are you doing and everything, but I just saw that and wanted to talk about that right off the bat.
Did they link Deadline? Like, is there a link to a Deadline article? Because
it just says via at Deadline, and then there's like you can't even click on Deadline's like profile. So I think that's just another thing just to get caught up on. I've got Twitter open right now just in case anything becomes official while we're on the stream here today. But yeah, this is like, there's a lot of stuff going on around the internet today, guys. You guys just got to be careful, with announcing anything or posting anything that may not be official and getting people's hopes up. But yeah, lots of fun stuff going on this morning.
We have something breaking, and it looks like it's official. This wasn't expected. This is taking a turn. I'm going to pull it up here. So
okay.
I'm sick, so you want to read it? Go ahead.
Where
here? 1 second. I'm going to pull it up. I had something else prepared, and then I wasn't expecting to see this. Interestingly enough, though, it says it was published at like 10:30 this morning. It must not have been made public until now, because it definitely wasn't there earlier, because Deadline was one of the first places that I had checked. But where are we here?
Okay.
Let me blow that up a bit here.
Yep. So there it is, everyone. So this broke while we are live on the stream here. Miramax actually lands the Halloween TV rights in broad agreement with Trancas, plots a cinematic universe coming up with Halloween. This is a reliable source. Excuse me, Deadline Hollywood, one of the most reliable sources, I should say. Yeah. So there we go. Miramax has landed the Halloween television rights. But that just says TV. So it looks like that there are still now. Again, guys, we wanna make sure that we're reading this right. So it says TV rights in broad agreement with Trancas. So that means that they have the television rights. It looks like I don't know what film rights are looking like right now, but I don't see anything on this title saying film has been announced. So
I don't know if you want to dive into the article here. I mean, I'm completely unprepared for this, man. So
yeah, no, here. Let me. Okay, so it says Miramax Television has signed a wide-ranging deal with Trancas to develop and co-produce a Halloween TV series, which also includes a first-look agreement at other television projects for the international marketplace. The Halloween TV series is envisioned, to potentially launch a cinematic universe spanning film and television. Miramax's head of global TV, Mayor Hellwig. I'm sorry if I said it.
Sorry, Mark.
It's Mark?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I said it. I thought that was an E. I'm sorry. Will be overseeing the franchise creatively in close collaboration with Akkad. So obviously that's Malik Akkad. Okay, so yeah, guys. I mean, Sean, I'm sure you're gonna link this down below once we're done here.
So you know what? I'm gonna put it in the chat right now. Like,
yeah, go ahead.
This is kind of completely. I wouldn't jump to no A24 there either, Critical Overlord. That doesn't mean that A24 can't be involved in the production of any of this stuff. Miramax is not a production company. So I wouldn't rule out A24, but I believe the last time you and I were on here, Braden, we talked about if A24 was going to have something to do with this, that the only thing that made financial sense was there to be another party involved with it. So I'm not saying A24 is involved. I'm not saying A24 is not involved. But if I had to bet, I mean, the rap was all over A24 being involved.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have something to do with this. Like, this is a very minimal amount of information considering what the headline reads. Again, just to reiterate what Braden said earlier, Miramax lands Halloween TV rights in broad agreement with Trancas, plots cinematic universe. Like, that's clearly much bigger than a lot of us were thinking.
Yes. So this is definitely very interesting, because this morning there was a lot of people on Twitter saying that, you know, A24 has acquired the rights. And I mean, these are people that are big into, you know, into just the Halloween franchise and everything like that. A lot of people that you see talking, and now we find out that Miramax has, because like you said, it's not necessarily a production company. They normally have parent companies that release films and that distribute the films, and Miramax is in close partnership with them, which is why we see Miramax's logo in front of, you know, in each of the movies. But yeah, this is really interesting. I was not expecting this to happen. Like, guys, I'm reading all of this as we are on air right now, so it's kind of just like very sudden that that this occurred while we're on stream right now.
Yeah, this Braden and I were not prepared for this. We were going to talk about the way certain people handle things sometimes, and also talk about, you know, do you want A24 involved? Braden's right, though. Even though they say cinematic universe, which implies films, the deal is only for TV rights, which makes sense because Miramax already co-owns the film rights. Yeah. They would be selling or leasing the Halloween film rights alongside Trancas to another company to make them. So I do wonder if A24 might be the film side of things in terms of actually creating the films and putting them out there. I don't know if Miramax has done any TV productions. They might be behind the money from some of the TV, but it's pretty bare bones article, to be honest, considering you know, the headline. Like, we've talked about a lot. I'm sure you've talked about a lot too, Braden. You were just at age 45 where they teased some of this.
Yeah, there's I mean, the most that we really got from H45, I didn't get a chance to sit in on the Malik Akkad panel. That was when I was doing my lunch and I was out just talking to some people and everything. And so I didn't get a chance to sit in on there. I do know that they talked about a Halloween video game potentially being developed and everything. But this cinematic universe is brand new to me. Because, I mean, obviously we can envision a TV series or a film or something like that. And so this whole cinematic universe is interesting to me. Like, what are they going to do? Are they going to be rebooting essentially all of Halloween now, creating it from bare bones from a TV series to films? I mean, this is all just a lot of information to take in right off the bat. So, you know, that's just basically where my headspace is at. I'm trying to process, like, what is it that they're going to set up? Oh, you're muted. You're muted, buddy.
There's a lot of people out there that thought even doing one new Halloween project so close to Halloween Ends was unlikely. Well, we talked about if A24 or Paramount was my hope. I wanted Paramount to land the film rights. I really like what Paramount's done with Scream. I might be alone on that one. But and I'm not a big Scream guy either, so for me that's saying a lot. But the fact that Deadline has come out and said Miramax lands Halloween TV rights deal in broad agreement and plots cinematic universe, like that is on a much grander scale than I have seen any content creator put out there in the last few weeks. Like I definitely didn't see that coming. At most, I thought, maybe they sign a 2 or 3 picture deal, but like we're talking about a connecting cinematic universe, and I don't know what that looks like for Halloween or where you start with that or what, but it's definitely an ambitious take. Well, what's your take, Braden?
Well, I want to talk. Can you scroll down really quickly, just like to this thumbnail here? Just this. The thumbnail that they posted is very interesting because you've got Halloween Resurrection, Halloween Ends, and then you've got just what appears to just be like some fan art of Michael Myers, like right in the middle here. Now, by cinematic universe, are they going to wipe everything and just start fresh and basically reinvent Halloween as we know it? And I like Matt here saying that Halloween 3 and Michael Myers is in the same universe, because there was that information that came out saying that Malek Akkad is apparently looking at greenlighting a television series revolving around Halloween 3. Now that I feel like in theory, with this television rights being, officially now presented to Miramax, now, in theory, that makes sense as to what we can potentially be kickstarting with. So Halloween could be starting with an anthology route. And that, I'm not going to lie, would be a good place to start right now, because we just got 3 movies from Universal with Michael Myers in it. And I feel like I've seen a good portion of people, like, some people really just want Michael Myers back on screen now. Some of them are like, could we take a break from the franchise? So honestly, to give us a fresh new take, like on Halloween, I would just kickstart with that anthology series, because I feel like that's where it might thrive the most. So I think that would be a good way to start, and then just kind of build from there. So let that like Halloween 3 universe kind of take its own form, and then have it construct from there. I think you're muted again, buddy.
I'm caught off guard by the whole cinematic universe here, because like I don't know if you remember, but like going into Kills and Ends, and obviously we're living in a time where you have Star Wars doing crossovers and Marvel doing crossovers, and we've seen DC do some rushed crossovers, and it's like you started to see all these memes about the connecting Halloween universe and the multiverse of Halloween, etc. I'm not saying that's where they're going, because honestly, I'm shocked that they even use the term cinematic universe.
I'm shocked as well.
Yeah, like the scope of that is just insane. And I will say this: I'm not just about promoting, what goes on here or what goes on with Braden, but there is an industry insider who nails like 95% of what he puts out there. And that's Jeff Snyder. He's frowned upon a little bit by some of the deadlines and some of the other sites out there, but he's live today with a show called The Hot Mic in about 2 hours time. Jeff Snyder had everything on the Blumhouse Halloween 2018 before any of the mainstream media had it. So I do wonder if we're going to hear anything. Actually, you know what, dude? I just checked, and he is teasing information on this at his 4:00 show, and has A24 also attached as well. So we'll see if A24 still is attached. It's going to be a developing story. Sadly, I got to go back to work today.
Yeah.
But
I know there's a lot of stuff I would like to read into here today to see what more potentially comes out, because like Akkad did say that we could have an announcement by Halloween, and it looks like that we did get that announcement here today. So there's a lot of stuff to unpack here, because now the big question is, what the fuck do they mean by cinematic universe? I mean, are they turning this into something like Marvel? Are they gonna be doing just like I don't know where they're going to start. Like you said, I'm trying to theorize like how I would even start with this if like I was tasked with, hey, Braden, you got some time here to develop this plan for a cinematic universe. How are you going to go about this? And I would be like, well, what the fuck do I know where to begin with something like that? So I do want to talk. Misael Barrientos right here brings up now. Misael is a great buddy of mine, and he says that he's been for an anthology series for the longest time. I can't even tell you. Like, we've had so many discussions about Halloween and what to do with it, and he's been like the front runner for a Halloween anthology series forever. So he thinks that we should do a anthology series on Shudder with all different stuff. Michael Myers, occasional special coming in, and John Carpenter to do the score.
I mean, you don't need to do much to sell me on that. I put the idea out here on this channel months ago that if there is one anthology type show I would sign up for is like, let's say a season is 8 episodes long and each episode is an hour long. Mm-hmm. What if each episode was its own little mini movie? So you get various different Halloween stories that all unfold in the same universe. And then the last 2 could be 2 completely different Michael Myers stories, even if they weren't the same universe. Like I had said, because everybody, not everybody, but a bunch of people clamor for the return of Danielle Harris as Jamie Lloyd in some way.
Yeah.
I've always thought that is more doable if it's going to be like a 1 or 2 part special on like an anthology TV show than it is to do a brand new live action movie with Jamie Lloyd. Like I just... Mm-hmm. I'm not saying you can't write that. I just think they've gone back to the barrel so many times on this one didn't happen, but let's do this one. And this one didn't happen. Let's do this one, that I think it would come across a little better on the small screen even than on the big screen. I do have to say, when you announce something like, cinematic universe, you would assume there's already creatives attached. Otherwise it's just a super ambitious, throw it against the wall idea where you're hoping a creative can come in and maybe deliver on what you want. I would hope it's the first one where there's already creatives attached, possibly already talent attached too. And that could be why you're seeing a pretty bare bones article from Deadline here, simply because, as you and I talked about earlier today, Braden, the SAG strike meeting didn't go well. Walked away from the table over, I believe it was 2% ask of streaming revenue. Mm-hmm. So we thought we were getting close to a SAG deal, and that hasn't happened yet. So
yeah,
those things can absolutely compromise the bigger announcements.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like, I find this so funny that Deadline has posted this, and I shared it on my community section on YouTube, and I already have someone saying that that's wrong, that A24 has acquired the rights. I mean, like, guys, this is what I mean when we need to be checking the sources that you're getting this information from, okay? So like Deadline is a very reliable source. Bloody Disgusting is probably going to quote a lot of what Deadline says. And when I write up my article for my media outlet later on this afternoon, I will also be referencing what Deadline has to say as, this. A24 does not have the rights currently to Halloween. At least nothing official does, except we now know that Miramax has the rights. They are planning a cinematic universe, and they have the rights for television. That is all we can put together right now. Everything that I'm seeing in this paragraph that Sean has pulled up on the screen mostly talks about television. So, that is what we know as of right now. Don't let anybody else fool you thinking that A24 has the rights when that has not been announced. Until that has been announced, then assume that as of right now, it's just Miramax.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to disagree with that. We were on air last night talking, and like the Wrap is not like a small place. The Wrap is a legitimate industry source, and they were pointing the finger at A24. Although I gotta stress, despite there being a ton of talk about TV rights, that Wrap article yesterday doesn't talk about TV rights. They talk about film rights. So this could just be part 1 to a 2-part announcement. maybe cinematic universe was not the best term to use in this title, or maybe it is, and maybe they plan to have things connect and then unfold on the big screen. Star Wars is doing something similar to that right now, actually. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm also curious how many different stories you can create, because but I like, again, there's Michael Myers. I guess, like, you can do it from a bunch of different perspectives, but Halloween doesn't, in my opinion anyways, doesn't have a great track record of creating relatable, charismatic protagonists. I'm not saying there's none. Braden is currently working on trying to bring another one to life. I love John Tate and H2O, and Loomis I love, obviously, too, but there's a lot of movies where you get Tina standing out, or Busta Rhymes standing out, or the zombie movies where it's very hard to actually find someone to cheer for in some perspectives. Where, like, to me, if you're going to do something this broad, I hope you have a really good formula to create some very interesting characters. Oh, I think we just lost Braden. We'll see if Braden comes back. I still got you, man? Lost your camera, it looks like. There we go.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, for some reason my computer is acting up a little bit this morning. Can you hear me at least?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
Sorry.
Or I'm disappearing, so. Kevin says, respectfully, I think Danielle Harris's vitality in the franchise has ran its course. It would feel a little forced and too appeasing to fans. In terms of a feature film, yeah, I love Halloween 4. It's my favorite Halloween movie, and even I sit here and go, that's a hard sell for the general audience.
Yeah, Halloween 4, I mean, like, obviously it's got a lot of fans, and it's built a lot more fans over the years as well. I mean, I would love to see Danielle Harris back in the Halloween franchise, but honestly, why not cast her as like a main protagonist in an anthology series? Like, that at least brings her back into the franchise. And maybe, like you said, like, if we're doing a couple episode finale of a season, maybe she can come face to face with Michael Myers or something like that again at the end. Who knows? But there's a lot that they can do.
I'm gonna pull up Bloody Disgusting's article here. We'll see what they have, and just before I do, I want to touch on a couple of things. There's going to be a bunch of people now that go and shit all over the people that suggested or A24, and I will say this: sometimes I think people need to word things a little better in their thumbnails and in their titles. I'm very careful about making sure I put question marks in there, and definitely never using the term officially done. For example, we knew with Halloween Ends that it was like 5 months before the movie came out that it was not this Michael and Laurie showdown. So we were pretty adamant when the marketing came out and said it was a big final showdown, that we felt like it was, our duty to at least put it out there that, hey, it's not really what they're saying it is here. Judge for yourself, and we're not an official source by any means, but I hate when I see a bigger social media user or YouTube content creator put down the little guy. The little guy absolutely can be right, but when you see something like what Lee McCoy put out there earlier about, like, sometimes it's best to wait for like an official announcement. Also, I could be wrong here. I don't believe this is even an official announcement unless it's been confirmed. Deadline has officially confirmed, but like, there's no press release, right? There's no Miramax hasn't come out and said anything yet. If that happens when we're on air, please somebody let us know. But I just be gracious to others. You don't need to play the clout game and smack people around. I watched people take Critical Overlord's video and twist it and turn it into something else that it was already officially announced, as if there was a press release out there and stuff. And that's not what he said in the video. And I just think we all need to be a little more kind to one another. But at the end of the day, there's a reason why, the deadlines and the Hollywood Reporters and Varieties and the Wraps get things right, even before guys like Bloody Disgusting. Don't get me wrong, Bloody Disgusting is one of the main places to go for horror, but even those guys are not the level of like a Deadline who first reported it, or Hollywood Reporter. And Dean's right. Unfortunately, we live in times where people love to run and post it first. Here, I'll even be a little transparent here before I pull up this Hollywood Reporter article. Dean knows this because I sent Dean this conversation yesterday. How do I get rid of this now? Here we go. I sent Dean this conversation yesterday. I sent it to Braden today as well. And this is a conversation that I had with someone who was like our main go-to source. And this is how he handled it. Bro, I heard this morning there was a tentative deal in place. Wish I knew specifics, but word is going around. Something could be announced as early as next week. And apparently there's already a creative attached to the project. Now, in terms of a creative idea, that adds up in terms of there being a cinematic universe. And I replied with, oh, okay, that's a little further along than I thought they would be. Are we talking TV or movie rights? And he said both are definitely in play, but I believe it will be movie rights that will be announced first. I've heard a couple of interesting things just in the last 24 hours. I tried to call you last night about it. So there's some personal stuff in there. And he goes on to say, take these two things as rumor, not officially confirmed. And this is someone who had, the Corey stuff about Halloween Ends, the fact that Halloween Kills was going to be an ensemble film. He goes on to say, the first is not firsthand information, but A24 could be announced as landing the rights. I wish I knew if it was TV or movies, but if I had to guess, it might be movies. The other big rumor is that there is former Halloween talent attached to the project. And I can tell you that we had a couple of people on our stream last night that claimed that John Carpenter was a little loose lips with people at H45 while not on the panel, just saying, wait and see, something's coming. But I guess that's the same thing Malacca Cat said. So you're not going too far there. But basically what I'm getting at is anybody can be right, anybody can be wrong. But until you see it come from one of these bigger places, the reports are going to be questioned whether they're right or wrong. So just be smart about how you put your stuff out there. Any thoughts on that, Braden?
Yeah, I just think that, like you're saying, we all just got to be respectful toward each other, guys. We all get excited when we see a little piece of news that drops that can potentially be, official or not. You see something that Halloween is already landing the rights. Guys, we're all fans, right? We're all fans of this franchise. I'm sure everybody that's in the chat here is as well. I mean, it's just, we got to be a little more cautious. And, even I saw some nasty stuff from some, bigger creators earlier today. And it's just hey, you guys are excited. And obviously some guys are trying to jump the gun and get an official announcement. Hey, I shared this morning that A24 had landed the rights, but guess what? I took it down after I found out it wasn't official news or anything like that. I had been seeing a lot of different outlets on Twitter saying some stuff, but it's just really, you want to be mindful though. And I will say I am now being mindful with everything that is being posted until I see it from Deadline or Hollywood Reporter or even Bloody Disgusting, who they usually do a really good job at linking, or connecting it to an official source. So, that's just what you got to be more cautious with.
Just to touch more on that, someone from one of those places that Braden just mentioned, I'm not going to throw them completely under the bus, but one of the bigger places was out there just being like, nope, it's not this, it's not that, it's not this. But if you scroll back to their same tweets or posts or whatever they are, from yesterday, it's all about them wanting to be first. It's a really bad look. So it's not just the small guy that does it. It's the big guy that does it. We all live in the same space together. And I just think, hey, I'm not saying I haven't made a mistake. I've definitely made mistakes. I probably haven't handled myself the best in the content creation game at times. But as a passionate Halloween fan, I'm just excited at the prospect of now officially new Halloween projects, right? It's not maybe we'll see something in 5 or 6 years. It's Halloween's coming and sooner than people thought.
Yeah. No, this is definitely news to me this year. I didn't think that we were going to be seeing any form of Halloween news, like I said on the last stream, like until at least next year or potentially the following fall, like 2025. Like I thought that they were just going to let it rest. But then again, on the last stream, I also said when we look and see what slashers are doing right now with Ghostface and Chucky and even Texas Chainsaw just had a reboot or a sequel. They had a requel, I should say, last year. I mean, slashers and Halloween is it's in people's brains again, you know? So people are like, or studios are looking at that and they're like, well, guys, we can't just let the franchise die. We have to find something to do it. And now it looks like they're plotting this bigger universe for it. So, you know, there's a lot of interesting things that can, you know, be coming, but they clearly don't want to put this franchise to bed like they did after Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and up until we got Halloween 2018. I know that wasn't initially supposed to be the case, but when Dimension Films ended up losing the rights to Halloween Returns got shut down, which was initially supposed to come out in 2016. But that obviously, and they had everything essentially moved in for that. Like they had locations done, they had a script done, they had all that stuff done, and then they lost the rights until Universal got it and gave us the sequel trilogy. So there's just been so much interesting Halloween development over really the last like 8 years, like even before we got that trilogy that and now like it's in full force again. So we're getting a lot of stuff.
Merciless Ghosty put out there, Miramax is owned by Paramount, right? I think it would be safe to assume Paramount is going to be producing both. Yeah, believe it or not, I believe Miramax is owned by Paramount. I think we checked that out last time. And I don't want to get my hopes up because I want Paramount to do a Halloween movie, right? So like, it's easy for me to be like, yeah, Paramount, Halloween, let's do it. I would still wait for official wording on that. I will say this though, we talked about on a live stream within the last couple of weeks where I thought things could get messy if Miramax didn't come out with the TV rights simply because they co-own the movie rights. And I know there's people that'll be like, well, that's just business. But this franchise has a history of behind the scenes issues and studios arguing with one another and projects getting canceled or delayed or outright blocked via, legal action. So I'm almost relieved. I don't know what the product's going to be or what it's going to look like at the end of the day, but I'm almost relieved that it was Miramax that won the TV rights because it should avoid any issue legally with the movie rights because they already co-own the movie rights.
Yeah, so and that's interesting to me because we saw a few weeks ago now that Miramax was currently pursuing potential studios to purchase the rights for Halloween. So it's interesting to me that today we just found out that they're just like, nope, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to go ahead and just keep it. And that's all that. And now we can do as we please with it. It makes me wonder if they had heard some pitches from potential studios and what they maybe want to do. What are your thoughts on that, Sean?
Sorry, I got sidetracked there, man. I might need you to repeat that simply because I got looking at the article and there's actually a CAD quotes in here.
No. It's okay. I was just saying what do you call it? They were recently pursuing buyers for the franchise. And that was also A24 for the longest time seemed to have at least an in for the TV rights, right? And today we just found out that Miramax is like, you know what? I'm just going to pull that and we're just going to keep it for ourselves and we're going to be the ones that pursues this. Do you think that they might have heard various pitches from what they were going to do with it and they just didn't like what they were going to do and they're just like, you know what? Screw that. We're not going to give that to you guys now. We're going to go ahead and just keep it for ourselves. So
I mean, I can't say for certain that's what happened, but I can tell you that none of these deals get made without a creative attached pitched.
Yeah.
Like You're not getting a deal done without some sort of creative pitch attached to your bid of what you intend to do with this character. I know some people are going to laugh at this, but the Acads are very protective of Michael Myers. I know you might point to Halloween Ends or Halloween 5 or whatever movie you might not like in the franchise and go, are you sure about that? But they really are. They're not just going to throw Michael out there for someone to do whatever they want with them. It was pretty well noted that there was some disagreements with Universal and Trancas towards the end of the David Gordon Green trilogy in terms of what way they were going to head, but the deal was already done. Not a whole lot you can do to stop that from happening. So it's definitely possible. But I also think the more likely thing is, and you brought it up, and Barry from Wolfman's Got Nards brought it up. Trancas only has, sorry, not Trancas. A24 only has so deep of pockets, right? Like if we're talking cinematic universe where it's both TV and movie rights, that's super expensive because now you're talking about possibly multiple seasons of TV and multiple movies, and like that's a fortune to pay for rights. And if you're going all in on Halloween and it fails, we're potentially talking about the end of your studio. Again, for A24 and how small they are.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I was blown away this morning when I saw all the reports saying that A24 has landed the rights, because you want to talk about risk, man. Like, I mean, if they get both film and TV rights, they have to, first of all, guys, it's not like they just get the rights. It's not like they are just like saying, hey, I want the rights. This is what we plan on doing. And the rights just end up in their pockets. That's not what happens. They have to pay for the rights to use this property for their company, right? So I found it to be absolutely shocking when it said that some people were saying that they got TV and film rights. I was like, whoa, that's a risk. And there was a few reports saying that A24 apparently was also signing on for a 4-film deal with the Halloween franchise. And I'm like, hey, yo, I don't even know how they're going to, like, how the Halloween franchise is going to do in theaters after how Halloween Ends was, received by fans, right? Like, there are people that like Halloween Ends, don't get me wrong, but there are a lot of people that say that Halloween Ends was the absolute worst, movie in the franchise. I don't agree to that by any means, but I think that the way that really Kills and Ends were received by the audience, I would be curious to see, like, if A24 did do that, what it would bring in box office wise, because obviously what they dish in, they should hopefully try and get back, right, for like from the box office. So I don't know. I just don't think A24 was going to be smart with that if like that was their business strategy.
Yeah, they don't have a great track record at the box office. Kevin says, my worry with Miramax is how similar they are to Blumhouse. Fast track, fast produced, cheaply made movies, and in my opinion, that dilutes and destroys the IP more than not having movies at all. Well, it's definitely a hot take, but I definitely appreciate it, man. I know there's a lot of detractors out there for Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends, Halloween 5. I thought, sorry, not Halloween 5, Scream 5. Scream 6 I thought was pretty well received by most people. I know there's some people not thrilled with like the last act of that movie, but like I just watched it again this weekend with my son, and first time he's seen it, and I sat there going, I really enjoy this movie. I like it, but make no mistake, something is going to be fast tracked. Like the Writers Guild extension is only 3 years. If you don't think that they want something on TV or in theaters before that 3-year deal's up, so that they're not sitting through another strike, you're out of your mind. You're not going to wait till 2028 for something. It's going to be much faster than that. Maybe it's for the good. Let's not forget that David Gordon Green, this time last year, teased something else was already in the works with the CAD and what he was doing. So creative pitches were already going on at that time. I just, I don't think anything's going to get in the way of fast tracking it.
Yeah, no, they're pretty much gonna. We probably will see something in the next 2 years for sure. I mean, as soon as like this is hot news that just broke literally within the last half hour. I mean, they're looking at doing this as soon as possible. So I wouldn't be surprised if they fast tracked production if the SAG stuff can get wrapped up. If they didn't fast track it and we got something potentially next fall. Honestly, like I know that I said that on the last stream, and this was when the writer's strike was still wrapping up as well. I think the last time that we did the stream, it was just wrapping up. And the SAG strike was well underway. But I had said that it was probably going to be 2 years before we saw anything. But now I think it's going to be much quicker than that. So,
man, when I was younger, I wanted stuff a lot quicker than it would come. Just impatient me wanted it as fast as I could get it. And now it's like, yeah, I can wait the extra year. I can wait the extra 6 months or whatever for you guys to make sure that, it's done a little right. I'd be really worried about something coming as quick as next year. Even with the strike, Crystal Lake has kind of taken its time, which I like. I would hope that something similar is happening here. Where are we? Merciless Ghosty says, seeing how Paramount and the last 2 Scream movies agreed, I would love Paramount to do a Halloween movie. Well, again, Paramount owns Miramax, so we'll see what happens. But there's no mention of Paramount actually be involved in the production of the press release done by Deadline and now by Bloody Disgusting.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to bring to light here, Brayden? Obviously, this was not the plan when you and I got on here today.
No. I mean, I'm just like making sure that there's been nothing else that's been announced. And so this is the biggest report right now, guys, is that Miramax has landed the rights. What they're going to do with this, we have no idea. There's been no official plot detail. There's been no official, creative team that's been announced or anything. As of right now, we just know now who is keeping the rights. And that's Miramax, which again, I find interesting that they were just trying to sell it and now they're keeping it here for them. So, what does the Slaughtered Lamb have to say? Let's see.
It's just an announcement that they are developing and they have a production partner, the exact same partner they had before. It's nothing to do with distribution rights or distribution rights on TV or cinema. Yeah, I don't think there's anything about distribution on there. But it's also important to know that Miramax had no possession of the TV rights before this. This is something that they actively had to enter a bid for.
Yes.
The fact that it'd be like if my wife and I, if she was selling a car and we had 2 different bank accounts, I probably have the inside track on buying that car before someone else does. I think knowing your partner, knowing who you're getting into bed with is important. This is early days. I suspect by the time I get off work tonight, there'll be more details out there from places. Again, I would say pay close attention to Jeff Snyder on the hot mic when he comes out at 4:00. Dude gets a lot of things right. Also, a shout out to both the Slaughtered Lamb guys. If you didn't get a chance to go to H45, I didn't. They have a wonderful walkthrough video of it. If you missed it, it's a really good walkthrough of the convention, and I definitely highly recommend it to everybody out there. It's an exciting time to be a Halloween fan. It's okay to get excited about things. We've gotten a bunch of things right in the past. We've also gotten things wrong in the past. I just want there to be good, intriguing Halloween stories going forward, right? Like, more is going to come to light, and Halloween's alive. I know there's, I think Dave McRae says a lot, just let it die more or less, or, let it sit. He doesn't have any interest in seeing any more Michael Myers. But the other side of this is if you're paying a significant amount of money for the Halloween franchise to produce TV or movies, you're not going to pay a significant amount of money and then go, we're not going to use the main asset that you guys have. Anybody can go and produce any Halloween anthology series and just not call it Halloween or have Halloween be part of the subtitle. The important thing here is you gain access to Michael Myers. People are going to pay to go see or watch from their homes Michael Myers. Where are you with horror on TV, man? I haven't tried Chucky at all, and I'm like hit or miss sometimes with horror on TV. I still prefer to go opening night to a movie on the big screen and have the loudspeakers at my sides. And I don't know. I don't mind cuddling up with the wife to a horror movie, but horror on TV for me is still definitely a developing thing.
Yeah, and like you said, just want to shout out the Slaughtered Lamb guys. They're great. I actually had a chance to meet them at H45. We got a picture together, and it was just awesome to meet other fellow content creators. So shout out to both of them. And really, if anyone in here went to H45, I hope that you guys had as much fun as I did. It was just great to walk around and be a part of that. And it's also a great time to be a Halloween fan. But in terms of where I'm at with horror on TV, I watched the first season of Chucky. I made it through about halfway of season 2. Didn't really like season 2 all that much, but I'm hearing season 3 has a pretty strong start so far. So I do have to finish up season 2 of the Chucky TV series. And other than that, I've watched all 3 seasons of Scream. The TV series, I do like the first 2 seasons of that. But in terms of like other horror shows, I mean, I'm not really I am up to date with all of Mike Flanagan's shows. And his new one actually just came out today, which is one that I plan on checking out for sure. And Stranger Things. That's basically like my horror television series right now. So.
All right, there's so much going on, trying to multitask my ass off, pardon me. Yeah, I'm a huge Flanagan fan. Anybody who's watched this channel for any amount of time, I wasn't a big fan of a series last year. What was that one called? Midnight Club?
Yeah, Midnight Club.
I kind of liked what they were doing early on with it, and then I felt like it dragged a lot, but everything else he's done, I've really dug. I liked Midnight Mass. Bly Manor I liked actually more than Hill House. I really dug it. And, I guess I'm holding out hope, as I'm assuming it's Darren with the Slaughtered Lamb account in here, mentions there's no distribution rights in terms of the TV or the film. I would hope that, that potentially puts Flanagan and Prime in a position to maybe do something with them, but we'll see. I know I heard people suggest Ty West if it would have been A24 involved. So we'll have to wait and see. It immediately becomes an exciting time for Halloween fans and wondering what comes next, because there is a next. It's not what if anymore. It's there's a deal, and we just now got to wait patiently for details.
Yes.
And I suspect more will come. And make no mistake, places like Jeff Snyder and Bloody Disgusting, and there's other people out there that are really, good at breaking stuff too, that they'll probably get word of talent attached prior to Bloody Disgusting revealing anything or deadline, and then it'll be a matter of waiting on if that's report is confirmed or not. You're going to see and hear rumors out the ass from this point on. There's going to be people that automatically make the connection. John Carpenter is just doing a TV series now with NBC Universal. So why wouldn't John Carpenter now do the Halloween series, right? Like, you're going to see all of those, head math takes put out there, but there's a chance someone has something legitimate, and we'll have to wait and see. But I'm excited but confused at the same time. I didn't expect to have this feeling, man. It just so many possibilities on where this could go. Anyways, they go on to say here, where is it? We couldn't be more excited to bring Halloween to television, Hellwig said. We're thrilled to expand our long and successful partnership with Trancas and the brilliant Malaka Cad in introducing this iconic franchise to a new form of storytelling and a new generation of fans. Trancas International Films is extremely enthused to be expanding our long-standing relationship with Miramax. And we look forward to working with Mark Helwig and the entire team in creating this new chapter, Akkad said. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more to come still before Halloween. Halloween 2023, I'm talking. If there is creative attached, whether it be writers, directors, whatever, that stuff can come out. But if there's talent that's been attached to something for a while, or talent that they might have an idea on, again, there's a SAG strike going on that could severely delay any significant information from this point going forward. Braden, final thoughts here before we wrap up. I got to get going in about 15 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought that you had like a question for me.
No. Just final thoughts on just this entire thing here. Obviously, this took a wild turn on us before we got on here.
No, it did. Like, because the headline of this stream is a possible announcement coming soon. We were just supposed to talk about theories, and literally news broke as soon as the stream started and we started talking. Official news broke, and so there's just a lot now of speculation as to what the next move is going to be. Obviously, there needs to be some sort of plot details that get, they'll probably be kept under wraps, but maybe not so much plot, but we need to see who the creative forces are going to be that's going to be spearheading this thing. Lots of exciting stuff coming up, man. So make sure you guys got your notifications turned on, and it's going to be exciting moving forward as Halloween fans. So
Toronto Freddy says he can see Flanagan doing Elm Street over Halloween. It's more his forte. Yeah, I will say this about Flanagan. He was pretty honest about trying to take a shot at a Halloween script. He was asked to. And he loves the franchise so much that it basically tortured him for a couple of weekends, and to a point where he just couldn't get himself in that mindset. So there's always that to go back to and debunk any Flanagan thought. I love what the guy does. I love what he did with the Dr. Sleep director's cut. I think he would offer so much in-depth storytelling to lore and all sorts of things. Daniel says, Braden, dig your Halloween sequel. Sean, go Leafs, go. They won last night, sloppy, but a win's a win, I guess.
Hey, Daniel, thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate the kind words, and I'm glad that you enjoyed that. Stay tuned for my channel later on this month for a Halloween announcement of my own. So,
looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, so I mean, I'm sure there'll be more out tonight. We might even be back, or at least I might be back live on tonight and sort of dissect everything. I haven't had a chance to really sit down and dissect it because we were live. We were live, and Braden's like, something might have dropped 2 minutes ago. I'm not sure, and sure enough, here we are with.
Oh yeah, literally, I had Twitter open too, and I'm glad that I did open it because it at least geared a little bit of conversation throughout the stream here. But Byron, you missed that Miramax has acquired the television rights for Halloween. So there's that just happened.
Yeah, and that they're plotting some sort of connecting universe of some sort, and they used a cinematic thing. Sean, do I have a cat? Yes, you've probably seen her at some point. 2. They're pains in the ass. If you would like them, we'll ship them to you for free. But yeah, I guess that's where we are. Miramax has won the bidding for the Halloween TV rights, and according to Deadline, they're plotting some sort of cinematic universe. So be on the lookout for that. Exciting times. Are you going to be doing anything content creation wise, Braden, about this that you want to make people aware of?
Probably not. I've shared my thoughts. I shared it in my community section. I talked a little bit about it today. If I feel like I really need to get some stuff off my chest, then I definitely will. I'll probably do it more as we get more information regarding regarding creatives and everything that is behind this. But as of right now, we now know who is going to be moving forward with television rights, and we know that there's a possible cinematic universe going. I feel like I've cleared that up right here. Now, again, if something else gets posted later on today and there's more of an announcement, then yeah, tonight I'll probably be going live. But I'm getting ready to be out of town for 9 days here coming up. So you probably won't see much from me until at least not next week, but the following week. So.
Well, man, I hope you have a good trip out of town and enjoy yourself. It's a wonderful time of year. I love when the leaves are changing around here and
Yes.
feels like fall and Halloween is in the air. And hey, regardless of not knowing creative guys, if you are worried about there being more Halloween, you don't need to worry anymore, whether it's to people's pleasure or great displeasure. More Halloween is coming, and you know the implication is a lot more Halloween is coming. So be on the lookout for that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It'd be appreciated. I'll probably be back tonight with something. We'll see what happens. Big thanks to our patrons. Without you guys, we couldn't do this. To our channel sponsors, Backtrack Cinema, Storytime Spectacular, and Colleague Nation. If you want to check us out on Patreon, it's patreon.com/Fandom Empire. Braden, where can everybody find you at, man?
You guys can find me on YouTube. You just search Braden Timmons. I'll pop right up. Make sure you guys give our latest podcast episode from last night where we did our top 5 Halloween kills throughout the franchise. So make sure you guys go check that out. Give that a thumbs up. Subscribe if you guys would like to stay up to date with a lot more horror stuff as well. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. So that's where you guys can search me up and find me.
Awesome. Thanks for doing this, man. Sorry it didn't exactly go as planned, but it was interesting to be on here at the time that it broke.
Yeah.
Big thanks to the chat for enduring us. We probably had to reference a lot on air, and we got kind of just caught in the middle of it. So enjoy, speculate responsibly, and celebrate. It's a fun time to be a Halloween fan. We'll see you next time.